I find relationships to be a lot like rock climbing. There are many different walls to climb, and some are hard to climb and take a lot of effort and work, and some are easy and just there for fun. But some relationships are just plain toxic. Sometimes one person can put in all the work only to receive negative comments and be ignored in return. Too much of this can lead to a lot of struggling and anxiety of all different types. Then you fall too hard and end up in broken pieces on the ground. After experiencing this type of emotional abuse in past relationships and going through lots of rigorous therapy in order to help myself feel normal again, I decided to find out if other people in my school were experiencing this. I knew I was not alone. I sought out to find girls at my school who were experiencing the same thing I did. Emotional abuse can be sometimes just as painful as sexual abuse. The issue is that emotional abuse is often swept under the rug, but I'm bringing attention to it and letting people know that it happens and it hurts. The pain will not go unnoticed.
People can't see it always, they don't really know what's going on.
One partner not taking the other partner seriously enough to treat them with the respect they deserve.
And you put them down as if they're a lesser human being and they're not worth as much as you.
So you can feel the heaviness in your heart and you just know that something's wrong, but you're not always comfortable talking to people about it. But because you question, you're like, well, is it my fault? Is it theirs? You don't want to blame them though, because you don't want to feel, you don't want to be the bad guy, but then it's like, if you're hurting yourself, then what's the point?
And cutting them down with their words instead of their fists so that it doesn't show marks.
This is an open letter to someone that didn't care about me. Everything was going on perfectly before you came into my life. Before you, I was actually achieving something. Before you, I was as happy as I could be. You never cared about how I felt about the situation that we were in, and you obviously never seemed to want to fix it. You told me that I never meant anything to you, and that you just used me for fun. To you, I was just another girl that you wanted to mess around with.
I was never given compliments, but incentives for me to fix myself.
My family never knew why I was always in a bad mood, and my friends never knew what was wrong with me because I would never tell them anything that was going on. I never realized how bad of an influence you were on me. Because of you, I would have anxiety every day. I constantly pick my fingers without knowing it. I'm constantly nervous talking to everyone I see. Some days it feels like a lion is ripping my stomach apart. Some days I would feel scared because I would think that you would pop up in my inbox again.
To someone who abused me. You slowly started to become more controlling, not only to my friends, but my image. To make sure you wear makeup to look decent for you. Me being the naive person that I was, thought this was normal. You would haunt me in my nightmares. I stopped eating because you had convinced me that I was fat. I wore makeup all the time because I believed that I was ugly without it.
To the guy who used me. For the first few months I felt exhilarated whenever you were around, like there was not a single place I would rather be than just right next to you. The irony is that you became the only person I felt safe with. It became difficult for me to see myself as my own person. Around April is when I started to see red flags. You became distant. I would text you every morning just to make sure you slept alright, and you would only respond when it was convenient to you.
The one that manipulated me. You would say things that you knew cut deep. You insulted everything I had previously told you I was insecure about. We were constantly arguing. The fault always fell on my shoulders. Either I was too busy, or I said something you didn't like, or I wasn't being affectionate. If we were fighting, I was lazy, unattractive, unintelligent. When we weren't, I was the best girl you would ever have. Slowly you cut everyone else out of my life and made me think you were the only person I had for support. Most devastatingly, I lost my best friend. That was possibly the worst thing you could have ever done to me. You made me terrified to misspeak or misstep. I found myself alone, disconnected from my friends that were worried about me, and parents that wanted their daughter back. I was terrified of you. I was terrified of staying, but more terrified of the repercussions of leaving.
am a strong, powerful human being in this world, and knowing that you're not in my life anymore makes me breathe a little better each day.
I found happiness in others, and I learned that our relationship was destructive and abusive. You did abuse me, but I have come out stronger afterwards.
Slowly, I'm getting stronger. I never needed to have you in my life, but looking back, you gave me the chance to learn what I don't deserve and what I need to expect out of a loving and good relationship.